Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the call. We're going to go ahead and get this started. I appreciate everyone that's hopping on right now. I am very excited to do this call, guys. We've been talking about this all week, different ways, strategies, and obviously just overall awareness for your social media brands is what we're going to kind of go through. And so if you obviously are new, obviously to this business, guys, and you really done much on social media, just know that's completely fine. Everyone starts from scratch. And so it's a very normal thing. It's just about, day by day. So I'm just submitting people to the call. It's just by day, obviously getting better at, promoting your brand, being able to promote your business through social media. And it's a major key for, online businesses nowadays. We'll kind of talk about this, but 90% of people who are ever going to come into your organization is going to be because social media. The reason that these businesses, like network marketing, obviously trading and stuff like that, is able to touch the lives of so many people is because of social media nowadays. You can imagine what life was like when social media wasn't around. It was very, very hard to, obviously get your information across the world to people. And so there's never been an easier time for you to go out and actually share, an opportunity with people than there is right now. It'll never be easier than this, hands down, guys. And so, like I was saying, I'm just really excited to obviously go through this information. I got me and my business partner, Jay Patnode, on this call. And, we've been utilizing social media for our business now for around 3 to 4 years. And it has been a tremendously helpful tool. And so, like I was saying, if you haven't really, use social media a bunch, if you're kind of still relatively new to it, just know that's fine. That's normal. Everyone created their social media accounts at one point, but it's just the fact that you showed up to this call to learn, what it is that you can do to obviously grow your social media, be able to utilize it. And so I'm going to go ahead and basically share my screen, and we're going to go through some information today that has absolutely changed mine and Jay's whole perspective on this business. It's a very, very important, obviously, different tips, tricks, and tools that you're able to do. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and share it, and then we will get started. Okay. Let me go ahead and admit this person. Sweet. And if you do have anyone inside your organization that is looking to, become a leader, looking to, obviously promote the business, be a representative, obviously go out and earn a passive residual income off their phone by leveraging social media, guys, go ahead and have them hop on the call right now. And, we can obviously share that with them as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen. You guys should be able to see this. I'm going to go ahead and second. There we go. All right. So guys, like I was saying, welcome to the social media training. Really excited to present this information. These types of calls are ones that Jay and I would actually hop on and we would take tons of notes on. So if I were you and I was brand new and I really wanted to start using social media, I would basically take out a notebook and I would really write down these notes throughout this call. Okay. There's going to be some major important information that can absolutely change, your whole, perspective of social media, but also the results that you're getting from it. Okay. And if you guys do have questions, obviously during the call, feel free to drop them in the chat and we can go ahead and kind of cover those as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make one other person a co-host so they can start admitting people during the call. All right, sweet. So guys, obviously, two of the biggest platforms out there are Instagram and Facebook. There's obviously Snapchat, there is, TikTok, there's YouTube, there's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's a bunch of different platforms that you can use. I think there's like 7 or 8 massive ones that are out there. And what we're going to cover today, because there's a lot to cover to go through all these different platforms. Okay. There's a lot that we can actually go through, but we're just going to cover Instagram and Facebook for right now. I think Jay might actually touch on, Snapchat and also maybe a couple other platforms, but Instagram, if you really think about it, is like the newer generation of people. And a lot, there's obviously more users on Facebook. You can see Facebook in 2022 has 2.85 billion users and Instagram has 1.4 billion users. So it has, basically double of what Instagram has, Facebook does. But, it's important to utilize both platforms, because both platforms, you never know when you're going to find someone that has a need that you're able to fill with your products or services. Okay. And so, just obviously keep in mind that we're going to be, just covering these for the most part, but you want to be able to utilize all of the platforms. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and continue, guys. Here's some important uses of social media. And keep in mind, we kind of made this PowerPoint, real quick, just to kind of give you a visual to look at, but around 90% of your customers or clients are going to come from social media. Over the course of time, you obviously have met a lot of people in your life in person. There's actually a statistic, by the time you're 18, on average, 1,000 people by their first name. And so, you do know a lot of people in person, but how are you able to get all that information across to all these, the masses basically? And the easiest way to do that is social media. Okay. So it's a major component with attracting, prospects and growing your online business. It's going to help you engage with customers, find out what they're saying about your business, good or bad, obviously improve your overall brand as a person and for your business. One of the coolest parts about this is it's free. It is 100% free to advertise your business on social media. That's why we do these types of calls. So, with you using the free aspect of posting stuff on social media, you're going to be able to, just basically leverage it even more by, maybe using some better methods or, different methods just in general to obviously reach the brand, or reach the audience that you're going after. And you're going to be able to create brand loyalty over time with your business, and also have a better, customer satisfaction and testimonials and stuff like that. And so, there's consumers and there are producers on social media. This is really important. So many times, before I go through this, so many times I've heard people say like, man, I hate social media. Like, I just delete it. I don't even want to see it. It makes me disgusted. Like, and I understand that. I really do. I was at one point in time a consumer of social media, where I just got on it to consume information, be able to receive information, obviously review it, interpret it, just using it for leisure purposes. And I would, share stuff in my story I thought was cool. Obviously, different experiences, information, advice, there's a lot of different stuff that consumers, obviously share, also warnings, tips, and so on, but you don't make any money with it. It's straight emotional attachment to social media when you are just a consumer. And so then there's producers, and I became a producer on social media in 2019. That's when I actually decided to start using it to create an income, guys. So, you become responsible for creating and curating content on social media platforms. You're tasked with developing and engaging relevant posts. You want to create stuff that people want to obviously, consume themselves. You are creating stuff for consumers. You're attracting and encouraging an audience basically. And the goal of the audience is to have them interact and use the brand or products that you're promoting. That's what the goal is, guys, if you obviously are trying to be a producer on it. And here's the best part about it. You can create an income by using social media. You can actually create an income. Now you can take it to the next level and actually get paid by these social media platforms. But when I say create an income, you're able to leverage social media to create income inside the business that you already have running, whether it's online or even a actual in-person business. And so, just kind of showing you guys, this is mine, Jay, and Matthew Thayer, the Executive Vice President of Sales of Driven Trading Academy, guys. Yeah, we're just kind of showing you the platforms. And so why do I have these up right now? So the first thing that we ever learned with social media is, you want to have an aesthetically pleasing page. You want it to be aesthetically pleasing. And I remember when I was brand new and I'm like, okay, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. How do I do it? And I was asking my mentors, and, Matt was actually one of my mentors at the time. So what I did, or actually what they told me to do was, they said, go on their Instagram pages or their Facebook pages and start literally copying it, like replicate it. You want to replicate what other people are doing, because if people are having success on social media, all you got to do is repeat exactly what they're doing. So I started looking at the captions that people were posting, and I would literally use that caption. I started looking at the ways that people were taking their photos, ways that people were taking their videos, their pictures, how they were posting their content. I was looking at, wow, this person has like a color scheme to their whole entire Instagram. And I, wanted to start implementing color into my Instagram. You want it to flow very nice, because when someone will come across your page, it doesn't even matter if you have like, 500 or 1,000 followers, guys. We are all at that point at some point in time. But what matters is that when someone comes across your page, that it's aesthetically pleasing. It's almost like when you're out in the dating world, what's the first thing you notice about someone? You notice, how attractive they are to you most of the time. And so, that's how people think about Instagram pages. Same with obviously Facebook. They look at how aesthetic it is. And so, I'll just, really focus on your bio. You want to focus on your bio. Obviously, you want to have something that's related to what you do in there. You want it to basically be, you also want, the spelling, using capital letters in the first letter of the word, and just, having a nice layout for what it is that you do. And that can look very different for a lot of different people. You don't have to do exactly what we do, but it is important for you to build a biography on your actual profile, where you can, have people check out basically what it is that you could do. You can actually put a link in your bio as well, where they could, be brought to something called like Linktree, where you can have several different links, maybe a video that explains what you do, or you could have like an external website that has like your portfolio on it. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, but it's cool to put a link right there on your actual bio, guys. And so, find mentors that have what you want, and start replicating what they're doing on social media. Start posting how they post, saying what they say on social media, acting how they act, do what they do on a day-to-day basis. And that's how you will attract what they have. And that's what I was taught 3 to 4 years ago, along with Jay, guys. And so kind of continuing, I'm going to teach just a couple things, and I'm actually going to be passing over Jay so you can go through a lot of the really, really important information. But one of the first things I ever learned on social media is like, all right, I see all these people on social media. How do I get them to start interacting with me and build a relationship with them, so they eventually will potentially purchase my product or service? Because I decided to become a producer on social media. And so this is one of the first things I learned back in 2019. So this right here is called flow. Okay. So I would take notes on this, write this down. This is very important information, guys. So this is basically where first you follow them. You follow them on social media. So you shoot them a follow. Doesn't matter, anything about them. You want to connect to them. Okay. So follow them on social media, and then show them some love. Comment something positive on one of their posts or pictures. People can tell when you're being authentic. They can tell when it's an authentic comment. So read the caption that they have and reply something that is genuine towards that caption. If you're just dropping fire emojis on their post, that's not very genuine, and it might, kind of seem like you have obviously other things in mind. And so I would comment something genuine on their posts, compliment the picture, whatever it is, obviously appropriately. And so then open conversation with them. Now that you follow them, you show them some love on one of their posts or pictures, open the conversation and direct message with them. Message them that, hey, I absolutely love your profile, like what do you do for work? Or message them that, hey, I love your most recent post, I absolutely agree with this and this. And you open the conversation up. And then here's the awesome part, guys, is the W. This is win them over. So now that you have the direct message open with them, you want to win them over. Ask about, so what do you do? Find a connection somehow, some way. And then once you find that connection, by asking them what they do, invite them to check out our opportunity. When you basically just slide right into someone's DMs and immediately just go for the kill for getting them to want to check out your opportunity or business, oftentimes they're just going to look at you as another salesperson. Like on LinkedIn, for an example, if you guys have LinkedIn, look at your DMs on it. If you actually use it, it is literally just sales after sales after sales after sales after sales, And so it's really important to build a relationship with people, build some sort of rapport. And that's why I found flow to be really, really, positive for my business in terms of results. Okay. Another one right here, guys, is called form. Okay. So this one can be used in person, but also can be used in social media. So for an example, on that last slide, win them over, ask them about what they do, find a connection. The win them over part, this is kind of that whole, aspect of that. So F is for family or friends. Where are you from? Who do you know? Are you connected to other people on here? Stuff like that. See if you have any mutuals with the person. And then occupation, ask them what they do for work. You know, what do you do for your job? What do you do for your business? Like what is it that you're involved in? And then recreation, ask what they like to do for fun. You know, like what do you do out in Seattle? You know, what do you do for fun? And then you want to get into motivation. So like, what are like one of your biggest goals in life? Like, what do you want to accomplish, you know, during your time on earth? You know, you want to get kind of deep with them guys. And this can basically open up that conversation to then eventually be able to allow you to invite them to check out your opportunity as well. Okay, so that's some pretty big stuff. There is a lot of main goals and uses for producers on social media. I'm actually going to go through this one right here, and then I'm going to be passing it over to Jay, and he's going to kind of run through the back half of all these. But some main goals and uses for producers on social media is gaining value and consistency over time. It's and the way you do that is by providing, you know, tons of different things on social media. It's not just providing your products and services, and we'll kind of cover here that in a little bit, but it's providing value to people who are following you. And, you know, I actually learned this from Gary Vee. If you guys know who that is, he basically kind of explained, you know, people are not following you just for your products and services. They're following you because they basically see value in you. You want to give free value on your social media. You know, something I've been doing lately is I've been making, you know, 30 to 60-second clips. They're just reels. And I've been posting them on my social media where essentially I'm just giving some sort of free game, some sort of free advice that potentially someone can use to help better their business, to gain more prospects, to close more sales, you know? So you're providing value, and then you got to be consistent about it. You got to be consistently posting. This includes your story and regular posts. Then guys, you want to define your social media goals. Okay. So now that you're a producer, what are your goals? You want 10 new leads or prospects per day. So if you guys know one of the daily goals in this business, one of the daily goals is to message 10 new people a day. You want to generate 10 new leads or prospects per day on social media. And it is very easy to do. We talked about how many people are on social media. You can get 10 a day, and that's going to start driving, you know, getting the blood pumping inside your business. And then another goal is at least one sign up online per week. Okay. Just from being posting on social media, just from interacting with people. So obviously, you know, I go for one personal sign up a day. That's what I go for, but I do this full time. So if you do this part-time, at least once a week, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. Instagram or Facebook domination. Okay. This is basically where you want to start tagging the locations of where you're going, tagging it on your photos. You want to start, you know, tagging the places, you know, restaurants, you know, gyms, you know, different stuff like that, and just engaging and connecting with tons of different people. For an example, you, let's say you fly out to, you know, Hollywood, Florida, and you post that as your caption on the photo. You then can type in, you can even go on Instagram right away. You could type in Hollywood, Florida. I think actually Matthew Thayer taught me this. You could type in Hollywood, Florida, and see all the people around you that are tagging that same stuff. And you can message them and open up the conversation, you know, after you flow them, you know, follow them, open up the conversation, or excuse me, follow them, show them love, open up the conversation, and win them over, guys, just by looking at their location. That's a way to do it. And so just engaging with people on social media, that also will increase your, there is several different algorithms with Instagram, but that'll increase, you know, a few of them basically for your profile getting a lot of, you know, actually activity. And then here's the really important part: make relationships with people and don't just spam them. You know, this is how you really can bring in some big leaders, is by creating relationships with people. And so in the beginning, when I got started, I was definitely just spamming people. You know, because you don't know, you know, you're just ignorance on fire. You're just excited and you're just running. And, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. There's just ways that, you know, tend to work better and ways that tend to work not as good. And so that's really important stuff. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually, I'm going to pass it off to Jay to do this back half. He's actually got some important information that, you know, he was basically putting through this PowerPoint. So I want him to basically go through it. And, you know, obviously, like I was saying, take notes, guys. You know, Jay, even before I got in this business, man, this guy was using social media. He had, you know, obviously a lot of different connections throughout the world on this platform, guys. And so, you know, take lots of notes from him. You know, he knows what he's talking about, and it can dramatically change your business. So with that being said, guys, drop some ones in the chat for Jay Patno coming on here and spilling some sauce on y'all. Jay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yup. What's going on?
What's going on, family? Happy Sunday night. Drop some threes in the chat. You just got some value from Josh on this call. I hope everybody's learning quite a bit. Because this right here is, the base, your foundation to, having a successful career in this industry. Everything is moving online these days, and you got to be ahead of the curve, and you have to have, some form or skin in the game. Because, I kind of look at Instagram these days as like a business card. It's your business card. You can see, a little bit of who somebody is or what they're about based off of, their social medias, if they actually are posting and stuff like that. But I would just kind of go ahead and follow up with what Josh was talking about. Some main goals or uses for producers is what you guys are going to do is switch to a business account. You need to start understanding your metrics. If you are on Instagram, you can go ahead and change it to a business account, so you can see, when you post the most, or when are people looking at your social medias the most, or, when are your followers the most active. You want to start understanding these, because then you can fall in line with maybe when you should be posting these stuff. You can become a lot more calculated within the game, and you're able to see, how many views you get on, videos, or how many likes, comments, and just the engagement of everything. And then on number 5, how often should you guys be posting? I would say 3 to 5 times per day, on your stories. And when it comes to Instagram and Facebook, like stories, you can post the exact same stuff. What I'll do is I'll post on Instagram on my stories, I'll save it, and then I'll go to post the exact same thing on Facebook stories, and then I'll go post the exact same thing on Snapchat. Me personally, I'll use all 3. And the cool thing with that is you never know who's going to be on each. You can literally just post the same exact thing on every single platform. And maybe somebody that looks at Instagram more might go ahead and, see your story on there. Someone that looks at, Snapchat no more, will see it on there, or Facebook more. So you never know. So you kind of want to be able to touch all 3 of those. Those are like the big 3 that I say is Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. And then, here's a good way to get people to engage with your content. Use polls or ask questions. On Instagram, you can literally, if you don't know, when you're typing in a post, like for a story, you can put questions, ask questions. You can say, have you ever invested in crypto before? You can ask and just take a poll and see how many people on your feed have invested in crypto. Then you can, if they reply, if they say no, or if they say yes, you can be like, what's your experience with it? You can then engage with them, based off of, those type of things. So there's little tricks and there's little ways to, get people to reach out to you or start a conversation or engage with people. What else should you be posting? Show your products or services, show the value that you have. If you're trading, post you trading. Maybe post a little 10-second clip on why you took a buy or why you took a sell. If you're doing binary options, explain it a little bit on how it all works. You can go ahead and use these different things, make sure you're posting and showing, your products and services. Because the one thing that me and Josh always wanted to do is we wanted people to know exactly who we were. When people said our names, we wanted them to think day traders, network marketing. We wanted them to think that, when the first thing that came to their mind, when they thought of us, we wanted it to be business. So, social media is the starting point for that. Here's some other things you can use, Facebook strategies, Facebook groups. There's different groups out there. There's different niches you can, connect in and connect with people. Think about the things you like to do on a daily basis. Think about things like that. You can find little groups, connect with them based off those interests. And that can be a common ground for you guys to start talking about your business. Another thing you guys need to do is invest in your brand. And if you have a newer iPhone in the last couple of years, the camera quality is usually great. The camera quality is great. You can use that to take photos. You can use that to, take videos. But if you don't have an iPhone, obviously it might not be the exact same thing. I would say if you don't want to invest in getting a camera, I would say get an iPhone. That's just it's the easiest phone to use. It's the universal phone that most people have. So it'll make it a lot easier when it comes to business. If you do have a phone, an iPhone. Another thing is you guys can invest into photo shoots or content, pay, don't be afraid to give back to the business. We go ahead and go get, professional headshots done. And when we first got into it, that's what we wanted to go do. We wanted to go all the way in. So right away, we went and got professional headshots done. We still use those headshots to this day. You can invest in a photo shoot or camera or content shoots. There's people all around the city. There's aspiring photographers and videographers that'll do it for cheap, and they'll make really good content. So don't be afraid to look out there. I'm pretty sure we all know somebody that's an aspiring videographer, or somebody that is good at what they do. You can reach out to them and work out some type of deal. I promise you, it'll help your profile grow. Becoming dynamic online and offline. Your social medias, YouTube, websites, everything, presentation, live events, interactions, networking. Understand that you're able to use social media to promote all of this. And if you can use as many platforms as possible, the better, because there's going to be eyes on every single platform. But I'm going to let you guys know a little bit about some secret tips that you guys can use. You can do shout out for shout out. Reach out to different people. Be like, hey, if I shout you out on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook, will you shout me out? Think about that. That way you can start getting into their markets. Maybe they want to get into your markets. You can collab with other influencers. Maybe say somebody has a, they're big into gym. They want to do gym content. They have a course, or, they do personal training, stuff like that. Say you'll shout them out, say, hey, if you ever want to get into, if you ever want to elevate your health and your life and your wellness, hit this guy up. He's an amazing personal trainer. They can shout you out and say, hey, if you ever wanted to learn about investing, or if you ever wanted to learn more about cryptocurrency, work with other people on social media. There's definitely people that are willing to do that stuff, for free. Obviously you can pay for, shout outs and collaborations and stuff like that. But there's definitely people out there that might have somewhat of a following, and it doesn't have to be a big following. They can have a couple hundred people. They can have, a couple thousand people. Their network is probably going to be completely different than yours. And always remember, your network is your net worth. This is something that I honestly understood at a very young age, and why I was very focused on meeting and connecting with a lot of people, because you guys have all heard the saying, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And that stands true in all forms and shapes of business. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Your network will pay you in the end. And I can promise you that there's so many different, tips and tricks and just secret sauces that you'll get just by meeting and connecting with people on a daily basis. So understand that your network is your net worth, and try to expand it as much as possible. Something that I do is every time I meet somebody new, I try to get their contact information. I try to get their Instagram. I mean, really, for me, it's the Instagram. Some people do Snapchat, but I try to get the Instagram. Just like I said earlier, it's just like a business card. I try to get their Instagram, whether it's a 2-minute conversation, a 10-second conversation. Oh, hey, let's connect on Instagram. Boom, simple. You should never walk away from a conversation with a new person without some type of, contact information. Here's some do's and some don'ts. Don't only post about business. Don't be a bot. Don't just spam, trading, building, or all these. You want to mix it up. Show them that you're a real person. You have life outside of work. You're not just, a workaholic. People don't want to just see that only. Post you going to the gym. Post things you like. Like if you like playing guitar, post playing guitar. If you play the piano, post you playing the piano. Whenever you're eating, you have a nice looking dinner. Post the dinner. Post you at the gym working out. Post you, speaking. Just mix it up. Do not just only post, hit me up for trading, hit me up for trading, hit me up for trading, or hit me up to do business, or hit me up through this. You don't want to become a bot, because the people are, I promise you, and I do this to people all the time. I just tap through all their stories. I got a really good friend of mine who sells clothes, amazing product line. I try to tell him this all the time, but he just 20 posts a day, all of his clothes. I just tap through it, because that's what it is. People don't want to see a billion posts. You want to mix it up so people can stay engaged with your content. That's why if you post the gym, okay, oh, cool. They're going to the gym. Oh, they just got a shake, or they're at Chipotle. Okay, trading. What's this trading thing? Cool. Pique my interest a little bit. All right, boom. And another thing is, make sure when you're posting about stuff, you also have some sort of call to action. This is something that we didn't mention earlier with like the bios and stuff. Make sure you have a call to action. So like in my bio, it's DM me income if you want to learn, how to make money online. DM me this, or if you're posting stuff, message me this if you want to learn more about trading. Make sure you have some sort of call to action when you're posting a lot of your stuff. At least, in there, here and there, at least so people can understand that it's okay to message you about it. Because some people won't message you about it because they will be like, okay, they're just posting the stuff, but I don't know if they're actually trying to, get like, I don't know if they want me to engage with them on that. But just make sure you're not a bot. Make sure you mix it up. Make sure you post different things. People will relate to you more if you're posting those different things that you like and just throughout your life. But what should you be posting? The biggest thing I want to talk to you guys about, I'll wrap it up here soon, but is when it comes to social media, who are you trying to portray yourself as? Ask yourself this. When you're trying to build your brand, what type of people do you want to attract? So think about that. When you're posting and you're giving out this value and this information, who are you trying to portray yourself as? And say you were somebody in the past that maybe your market doesn't want to, work with. You have to ask yourself, are you somebody that people would want to work with? Are you the leader that people would want to follow? If not, social media is a good starting ground to change who you're trying to portray yourself as. Say you were somebody that didn't really seem like a leader, back in the day, or didn't seem like they'd be somebody that'd be pretty successful in life. You can change that. So go ahead and figure out who you're trying to portray yourself as and what type of people you want to attract. And just my personal opinion on stuff I like to stay away from posting is like controversial viewpoints and politics. My social media is for business. I don't need to talk politics on there. And to be honest with you, it'd be smart if you didn't. I would keep it business oriented. I keep it brand focused. People watch what you post, and when you post certain things, maybe somebody won't buy from you in your business or won't want to work with you in your business. And if you're okay with that, by all means, this is just my honest suggestion on what you should go over. But outside of that, just remember who you're trying to portray yourself as and what type of people do you want to attract. And that should guide you on what you're posting, on social media. Josh, I don't know if you have anything else that you wanted to go over.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, also, guys, if you haven't already, we have a Telegram group, the Driven IG comment group. Basically, you can post whenever you post there. Whenever you post a picture, a video, or a reel, or anything like that, you can go ahead and we'll all comment on it. We'll all go show some love and do the exact same things. Get a part of the community. Start getting connected so you can start being and surround yourself with people that have the same goals and visions. So I'll post the Telegram in here and I'll let Josh go and continue. But let me post the Telegram in here.
I got it in there.
Oh, you got it? Cool.
Yeah. All right, sweet, man. I appreciate that, guys. See, I told you, man, Jay, he knows what he's talking about. It's funny. He actually asked me to do this business back in the day. And I like, when we started posting social media, man, he had so many more people reaching out to him than me, because I didn't use social media like that yet. And, it was a work in progress, man. So, the value that he just dropped, guys, drop some fire emojis in the chat for Jay. If he just provided you some value, I know that this man has absolutely helped me change my entire, social media game. So I'm just very grateful for him. I'm going to share just a few last tips for you guys, just kind of keep in mind. We're going to get into the psychology of things right now. Okay. So someone asked me today, they were like, how do I attract high-level leaders into my organization using social media? And what I kind of came to the realization is, over time, you realize that you're actually like always giving off a certain vibration and energy and frequency. And so people can feel people's energy. If I get loud like this right now, you can start to feel my energy, and you can feel people's energy though through social media. You can gauge basically like how professional you think they are. You can gauge how wealthy they are. You can gauge obviously a lot of different stuff that you're able to kind of gauge about them. And so my response for how to attract high-level leaders into your business is by becoming one right now. It's by becoming one right now. You will not attract someone who is a high-level leader. You will not attract someone who is a high-level leader until you can either match their energy and frequency and vibration or surpass it. This does not mean surpass their rank. This does not mean surpass their income. This means match their energy, vibration, and frequency. The types of things you both believe in terms of like business, like you guys are posting the same content. You're doing similar activities. You are guiding and helping people on your stories. You're showing people that you're showing up to calls. You're involved in a community. Like that's why you're posting multiple things on your stories and trying to make it as high quality of content as possible. You want to care about that. And so by having a higher energy, vibration, and frequency, raising it, being more excited through your social media, you are going to attract people that basically are exactly like that. Right now, if and this is just the reality of it, if you're attracting a lot of low-hanging fruit, it's probably because it's low-hanging fruit type content. It's very, like, for an example, let me explain this. When you're posting charts on social media, and obviously this is for our business, when you're posting just your product and service over and over and over and over and over, yeah, you're going to have some people swipe up. You could post on your story, I grew my account 30% today or this week. And if anybody knows anything about percentages, that's huge. That's massive. But here's the reality of it. Here's the reality of how this all works. Okay. The brain is 90% emotion, and it's 10% logic. And so what does that mean? You need to post things that are going to get a hold of their emotion, not of their logic. And so this is by speaking on your story, talking about what it is that you're doing. When you post charts, people don't understand that. I've had so many people tell me, yeah, I just don't hit you up because it looks like a video game. Like I literally don't get what you're posting. So I just, like Jay was saying, I remember I used to only post charts back in the day, and my family was like, we were at like a Christmas, and my aunt was like, oh, Josh, it's funny. We were just sitting down the other day, me and all the girls, and, we were all seeing who could tap through your story the fastest. You got to provide value. That's what it is. You got to provide value to people. And so that's why you want to access their logic. Talk on your story, or at least use text on your story, and explain what it is that people are looking at. They don't know what they're looking at. If people are tapping through your stuff, they don't understand what it is that you're posting. So you have to either speak it on your story, which I really recommend. When you show your face or your body on your social media, that is relatable. That's relatable. You're like, that's another human being. When it's just charts and stuff, it looks like an advertisement. And so access the emotional side of people's brains, guys. Emotions are what's going to actually bring you leaders and obviously customers into your business. Okay. And so obviously, people follow people who are excited and they know where they're going. Excited and they know where they're going. If you're like, yeah, man, like we're going to go out and, we're going to create a bunch of 6-figure earners and we're going to do this thing. It's like, you could feel that vibration and frequency. You got to be excited and know where you're going, and people will follow you. People are looking for someone to follow every single day of their life. And so, just, it's going to take time to get good at all this stuff. And, me, Jay, Matt, tons of people, obviously leaders, a part of this organization on this call, are here to help. We're all here to grow as a team, and you just got to take the steps of, putting time into your social media, changing up your bio, getting some nice photos, getting some nice content. You just got to be like aware when you're out and about. Hey, I should snag a photo right here. You got to be aware of it, and, post on your story 3 to 5 times a day, just consistently. It's not very often that you will see a top earner that doesn't have at least 3 to 5 posts on their social media. If your story is just dead for days and there's nothing on it, that's not what a top earner does. And granted, I'm not perfect, of course, and nobody is, but I know that that's what it takes. Okay, guys. So, with everything being said on this call, hopefully you took notes. Hopefully you kind of gained some insight on what it is that you got to do. Create a business account, reach out for help. If you want some tips, reach out to us on social media. I'll drop my username in here and Jay can drop his. And we'll help anyone. We'll tell you, hey, this is what I think you should do with your page, or hey, here's what you should start with. Okay. What are your thoughts on story and reels? Stories are huge. Yes, do them. You do stories, create stories, about things you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Like Jay was saying, all different types of stuff, and along with your products and services. And obviously reels. I just started doing this myself, man. My first year or two of the business, I did not create reels at all. And I made the decision, you know what? I want to become a professional in this space. I want to impact millions of lives, and I want to provide a lot of value through my social media, even if people aren't even in my organization. I don't care. I just want to provide value for people. So I started creating reels where I just drop a nugget or, a quick tip of advice that someone could possibly use so they could go ahead and obviously help their business. And so if anybody has any last questions, feel free to do it. My advice, like Jay is saying, take the stuff you put on Instagram and put it on Facebook, your story as well, put it on your Snapchat story, post it on LinkedIn, post it on YouTube Reels, post it on YouTube regularly, post it on, a regular Facebook post status. You just got to be active on all these social medias, because you never know when the right person is going to come across something that you posted, and boom, your entire business changes forever. Okay. And yes, you can connect your Instagram and Facebook together, guys. So, reach out for help if you want some advice, guys. But, hopefully you took some notes, and thank you for everyone that obviously showed up to this call. Invest into your brand. For Reels, I would say, obviously Instagram, keep it below, 60 seconds, because otherwise it creates like an Instagram TV thing. But below 60 seconds, the ideal one is around 15 seconds. That's ideal. 15 seconds is usually the ideal length for a reel, but you can do it up to 60 seconds, obviously, and, use captions on your stories. When you're talking, use captions, so people can see what you're saying, and, just do research online, really, really take time to invest in your social media. Social media, investing in it is what completely changed our business. Okay. So like I was saying, reach out if you guys need any help. We'll give you some, personal tips and advice, and let's go kill it this week. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. We have a huge week ahead of us, and I haven't been this excited in a long, long time, man. So, stay close to the fire, keep hopping on these calls, share value, help everyone around you, and let's have a beautiful week, y'all. Take it easy.